Hey everyone, this is Lisa from Life in Layouts, and I'm back with day number 12 for the March Madness Sketch Challenge, Scrap Now, Sleep Later. This is the sketch that we're going to be using. It's from PageMap, and I follow it somewhat. The background paper I definitely follow, the photos not so much. I'm going to be using this Hello Summer collection again from Echo Park, and I decided to pull out this like really shimmery pink paper. I think it's called Bazzill Bling. And I'm going to use that as my background, which is very different because I've been using a whole lot of white cardstock. But I thought, why not put a little extra fun flair into this? I'm cutting out the pattern paper that matches the sketch. On the left-hand side, I'm going to use this cloud paper, and I actually end up cutting down the pink paper and then piecing it back together. So I just measured out what the cloud paper was. I cut the pink paper a little bit longer so that I had something to make sure that I could adhere it to. Use my washi tape on the back to adhere the back, and then I was able to fold it over, put the adhesive on the back of the cloud paper and adhere it to the pink paper. And then of course using my T-square ruler to make sure that everything was straight. I decided not to cut the pattern paper just yet because I was not following the sketch in regards to the photo placement, because I only had 4 photos and I knew I was going to use a card as well, a 3x4 card. What I decided to do was just go ahead and cut down my photos, and then once I got my photos down, I measured them and then cut the paper from that, because the sketch does call for like a block of paper that's behind the photos, and I definitely wanted to follow along with that. So at the very top, I used this like wonky circle photo, and then I did go ahead and pull in some white cardstock just because there was so much pattern paper going on in this layout that I felt like the photos needed to rest on some white cardstock. Down at the bottom, I went ahead and used that yellow plaid paper that you saw before in another layout. Then of course, pulling in my 1/4 inch strips in the stripe, and I also pulled in a 1/2 inch strip in an orange. So as I'm getting all of that down, I do want to remind you guys to go check out the Scrap Now, Sleep Later Facebook group. We are day 12 into the March Madness. There are so many people participating. Like, I am surprised every single day at how many people are on that little wheel every time Veronica spins the wheel and people are participating. It's just amazed me that everybody's getting all these layouts done. Super excited about that. There is a $10 fee to participate. Even if it is the 12th day of the month, you still have the opportunity to win that grand prize, which is a $100 gift certificate to Close to My Heart, as long as you complete all 31 layouts. All the sketches are posted up through day 12, and then from now on, obviously we post the new sketches every day at 9 a.m., and you have the opportunity to be entered into a daily prize and a weekly prize if you complete the layout during that time. And of course, all of the details are posted below. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments and I will gladly answer any questions that you may have. I did go ahead and gut the right side of the layout because I did know that I wanted to use that pink to mat one of my photos. Once I get the paper down, I'm going to use the washi tape on the back to just make sure that everything is secure, since there is that kind of big hole and I have those strips of pattern paper and white cardstock. I was able to find some fun foam, and you'll see that here. These were a little bit smaller, but they were double-sided, and I was super excited about that until I realized how sticky they were. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second when I had to pull that photo up. These photos are of my nephew when we were at Blizzard Beach. This little section here is called the Fahrenheit drops, and it's basically a zip line in the water and then they fall. And so the photos are in order from like him standing on the platform and then coming down, and then the very last photo is him like right before he fell in the water. And that's why I also had to change up the sketch a little bit, because the 4x6 photo was supposed to be kind of in the middle, but I needed the photos to be in a certain order, and so I had to change it up a little bit. Right now, they are not in the correct order, and I had already stuck that fun foam down. Like I said, it was double-sided, so I was super excited to find it. It's 4.5 by 6.5, and it was pretty reasonably priced. It was a little bit more expensive than what I had paid before, but I was okay with that because it was double-sided. Now, my mom has also found the fun foam at Walmart. Like, I've never had luck. Every time I've gone to try to find it, it's always been sold out. I think sometimes my mom goes on these missions where like she gets it in her head that she's going to find it. So she might go to a couple of different Walmarts, where I am more of just like, oh, it's not here. So, oh, well, I'll look to see next time. So my mom was able to find me 2 packs of the fun foam from Walmart, which is like the regular fun foam that I was using before. So I'm very grateful for that. And I know that she watches my videos. So thank you, Mom, for picking up that fun foam for me, so that I am fully stocked now with the 2 packs of fun foam, plus this super, super tacky fun foam, which I will only use when I know for sure that those photos are going down. I went ahead and added the 3x4 card over on the far right hand side. It just is a yellow card and it's got a white little border around it, and then it's got a sun and clouds up at the top. And I do go ahead and add a little tag that says happy. And then over on the far left hand side there was a sticker that was like a floral piece, and I went ahead and cut out a yellow circle and added that behind that floral piece. And then I have this tag that I pulled out from my embellishment book that says good times, and I added that to the left hand side. And all of these pieces that I'm adding now have come from my embellishment book. So I have an orange circle over there with a white heart in it. I have a little tag that says best day ever. I also have this like pink flower that I'm gonna add a little tag on it that says fantastic, as well as a red heart right above the word fantastic. And then I did also add a swirl to that cluster over on the far right as well. This is where I realized that they are in the wrong order and I had to pull it up. So you can see here that with my ATG, which is supposed to be super tacky and it's supposed to stay down, I was able to pull that up pretty easily with my spatula. This bent the photo when I pulled it up. So I had to end up ripping the paper to get this up. I left all of this in to show you guys how much it took to get that photo up. I was like, I can't believe how sticky it was. And so, you know, me and all of my crazy accidents that I always have, it's probably not the best that I use that particular fun foam, but I got it up. I did end up ripping the paper. Luckily it was underneath the photo. I did end up ripping it right above the photo. So I created a cluster there with a little tag that says, here we go, and which I think is perfect because he was right about to step off the platform. And then there's a yellow sparkly arrow up there as well. And then of course I'm going to go ahead and add my enamel dots in a blue, green, and orange. Then I'm going to add my title, and my title is just going to say hold on. It's nothing fancy. I just pulled out some white stickers from Freckled Fawn and added those down over there next to that cluster on the left hand side, and I felt like it kind of added to that cluster, and I probably should have done stickers that were a little bit bigger, but again, in all of this it's just about getting the layouts done and getting them in my albums. So once I use some liquid adhesive on those to make sure that they stay down, I do go ahead and use my center ruler that has the ability to draw lines, and I drew lines on the 3x4 card. And then for my journaling, what I decided to do, and I do this technique quite a bit, I will pull up the location that we are at, which for this particular one is Blizzard Beach, and I was looking for that attraction, and first of all to find out what the name of it was, and then normally there's like a little description, and so I added that to my layout to help with my journaling. So what my journaling says is Fahrenheit drops. Drop in on the T-bar, a zip line that ends with a splash in an 8.5-foot deep water. Malachi's smile says it all. This ride was so fun. And then I added the date with my roller date stamp up in the corner. So here is my final layout as well as some close-ups. If you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. Make sure you go check out the Scrap Now, Sleep Later Facebook group. And if you want to join in on this March Madness, it is only $10 and you can join the March Madness Facebook group, which all the details are linked below. And then all the details for March Madness is also linked in that Facebook group as well. All right, if you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layout inspiration as well as how we're dealing with this March Madness, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you have a scrappy day.